Hello, Guru Nation. How's it going? Happy New Year. Happy 2020. Thank you very much for attending the first webinar of the new year, the new decade. New year, new you. Chris is joining me as well.
Hello, everybody.
Chris, this is a new year, new you, new decade.
I don't know about all that, but sure.
What a time to be alive, guys. And we have this webinar. Carlos did an excellent job of the slides once again.
Have you looked at any beyond slide 1?
I have not. But it's great that they're here. And I trust Carlos so much. Carlos does the quotes for social media, the image quotes. Carlos does the blogs. He actually schedules each blog post for the clinicaltrialsguru.com. So Carlos does a very good job, and he's a full-time study coordinator, so he knows the lingo. He knows the ins and outs. He knows what we're talking about. Okay, and what we're talking about today is how to 10x your clinical research opportunities in 2020. So the 10x could be 100x, it could be 2x, could be whatever it is you want it to be. But 10x, I borrowed a page out of an author that I used to read a lot of, Grant Cardone, and he wrote a book. He has a rule called the 10x rule.
I have a question.
And basically, we'll get to your question right now, but let me break it down. This book, the 10x rule, basically, if you want to 10x increase in your results, you've got to put in 10 times the amount of work you did to get the current results you have. Okay. That's basically the premise. So this could be 100x, it could be 2x, whatever it is you want to be, but 10x is like a nice way, I think, to have a headline.
By the way you just described it in the title here, so to 10x your clinical opportunities do not equate to results.
That's right, exactly.
So if you're 10xing your opportunities, then you're probably doubling your results. Is that what this is kind of saying?
Or maybe you're quadrupling your results, or maybe you are 10xing your results. That is where it boils down to you and how you set up your opportunities. But just to get the opportunities is the thing most people have a problem with. The closing it is another thing altogether. We can do a whole webinar just on that.
So it's funny because this reminds me of somebody we spoke to recently. I'm sorry to go off on a tangent here.
No, tangents are good. And by the way, anyone can chat in the comments. This will also be on the podcast, and this will also go on YouTube. But chat in the comments if you're typing. If you're on the phone, there's not much you can do but listen. But thank you. I mean, you get the opportunity to hear Chris Sauber right now. Chris Sauber gets to ask his question.
Well, it's not a question. It's just something that you and I both encountered a week or two ago. We were speaking to a gentleman. He owns some companies in either Vietnam or Korea.
That's right. Big family fun guy.
Yeah.
Connected to a lot of money, a lot of investors. Yep.
And he said, problematic in those countries is people don't reach out. Right?
That's right.
They wait for somebody to come to them.
Which is not going to happen, guys. We're in a record. Thank you for bringing that up, because this is exactly what we're talking about.
Right.
In a 2020 industry where just about every industry is booming, but we're in clinical research, so we're going to talk about clinical research.
So just to finish off, the way he dealt with this was he said, I can reach out and say hi. And he said, this actually is very productive. And people do that.
Right.
Where you probably have to go a little extra than just saying hi to somebody in this country, because people do tend to reach out, I think. I mean, we do.
Right.
And I would assume most people do. Now it's just a matter of how do you reach out, right? And where does this end?
And the answer is how you reach out is basically who you are. So what is all technology, right? Because in the 2020 world, when we reach out, it's through technology. Maybe it's even through social media like LinkedIn. But we can't forget that these things, all these tools, like this webinar, okay, it's a great technology. We're blessed to have a big platform on social media where we can broadcast, right? Mm-hmm. But if you're just starting out, I mean, that's not how it started out. I had to start out from scratch. But if you are starting out, you have to remember these tools are just tools. They're an extension of you. So you shouldn't act differently on these things. Like, people always ask, well, how do I use LinkedIn? And then I always tell them, well, how do you talk to people at a conference? I've never heard anyone ask me, how do I talk to somebody at a conference?
Sure. because you're a human being. You talk like a human being. I can see somebody asking that question though. How do I, I actually have been asked similar questions, right? How do I broach the topic, right? How do I
Yes.
this question, that kind of thing.
Well, the way to do it is to do it any way that is consistent with who you are as a person, because people can tell when you're not being authentic to yourself. But the point of this whole webinar is to get you to do it, because like you said, just because we're in another record year for research does not mean that these opportunities are just going to fall in your lap. I mean, you might be lucky, you might be in a situation where these opportunities are falling in your lap, but chances are, even for me, like, these don't just occur, these don't just fall out of the sky, right? These things, you have to work for them. So we're going to get to the next slide right now. Okay, so who can 10x? Basically, this presentation is intended for site owners, but it's also intended for anyone, basically anyone in this industry. Okay, whether you own a site, whether you own another business, whether you already work in the industry, but you want to increase your opportunities. This is the year to do this. Okay, this is the year where you're going to actually see ROI, return on your investment, and your investment is your time that you put into this. All right, so job seekers should approach sponsors and physicians with approach jobs. Okay, so job seekers, these are the people that need to network the most, and these are the ones that network the least because they think they don't have anything to offer, but they do. So the first thing you should do, no matter what situation you're in, whether you're new to the industry, not in the industry, a seasoned vet in the industry, you need to talk to 10 times more people who are part of clinical research or somehow associated with clinical research, just in general. If you just have more conversations, and you can do this on LinkedIn, you can do this on Twitter. There's a huge clinical research community on Twitter. All right, there's obviously an even bigger one on LinkedIn. Those two platforms, and there's even a Facebook groups where CRAs and other research insiders talk. They share jokes. They talk about what's going on in their work. They do business. Okay, I've seen people hiring people off of these groups. If you're not in these groups, I mean, and don't tell me you don't know what to say if you're in these groups. Just read what other people are posting, and if you think somebody said something interesting, reply just like you would in a real life at a cocktail party. Okay, so if you imagine social media as being one giant cocktail party where you're not just talking about, you wouldn't go to a party and just talk about you the whole time, right? People would say, who is this person? Like, they're not interesting at all. All they're doing is talking about themselves. You go into a party, you listen to the conversations. There's multiple conversations going on at once. So if one is not interesting, you just go to the next one. Nobody cares, right? And then you share, you add your 2 cents, or you don't. Just being there, they know that you're there. So same thing in social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. Those are the three platforms you need to be leveraging like every single day. Okay, I think you can 10x your conversations this year just by using those three platforms without even doing anything in person. Now, there are things you can do in person as well, which is most cities have either a ACRP, so Association of Clinical Research Professionals group, or a SOCRA group. I think the ACRP ones are bigger, and the topics are more for just general research as opposed to monitoring. But I mean, you can do both, right? Why not do both? These meetups are usually free, and they usually happen every month or every quarter. And what's good about these places is you go in there, you might meet 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people one time for like 2 hours. Okay, and then they all have a LinkedIn usually, and you can keep in touch with them on LinkedIn. So this is how you do this. I don't care if you're a site owner needing more studies, you're a site owner needing more employees, you're a site owner needing a specific vendor, you're a site owner needing more PIs, okay? You're a CRA needing to find another job because where you're in, the place you're in, you think you've hit a ceiling, which many times you're right. So you want to move on to another opportunities for another company, maybe be a contractor, maybe you want to do some side gigs as a CRA, like do biz dev for sites or help sites with QA. I had a CRA ask me, what are some side gigs I can do as a CRA? And I said, well, I mean, you got to look at your contract because you don't want to be competing against your employer. Sometimes there's non-competes. But if you're a CRA and you know research clinics in your community that are struggling with quality, I don't know, just about every site who's new struggles with these things. They can pay you to go in once a week, once a month, or even virtually and look at their work. I mean, this is basic things, right? But these opportunities are not just going to come to you. You have to know the problems. You're not going to know the problems unless you participate in conversations with people, whether online or offline, whether behind a computer screen or face to face. You're not going to know what these problems are. You can guess, but if you don't communicate with other people, you're not going to know. And when you communicate with these other people, guess what? They're no longer strangers. And guess what? If they like you and you're not just talking about yourself the whole time, they might want to work with you. So 10x, okay? Site owner academies, we have that. We teach our students to do this in the Site Owner Academy. That academy is very expensive now. Very expensive. But it'd be great if I think it's worth. You're going to get your ROI if you join it. But this is not what this webinar is about. At the end, we're going to talk about some of the services we offer, where we're going to do some of this 10x for you, but there is no substitute for you doing the 10x. And even in our services, with our month-to-month services, we're actually going to do a podcast on this, the value of a site network. What do you think a site network is? It's 10 sites or more getting together and saying, hey, let's 10x our opportunities.
Sure.
Well, we can do more together than we can do with you. This is a site network. So, guys, you need to think about who are you talking to? Who did you talk to in clinical research last year about clinical research? Okay, you want to 10x your opportunities? Multiply that by 10. How many people did you talk to last year? That's how many you got to do. How many people a day? Break it down to the day. How many people a day on average did you talk to about clinical research? Doesn't have to be about you. You're not going to do an infomercial each time you talk. Just real conversation. Social media makes it so easy. People are posting. Right now they're posting on LinkedIn. They're posting on these Facebook groups. There are like 3 or 4 huge Facebook groups, all right, where people are just talking about random things somewhat related to clinical research. I've seen people get hired on these groups.
Well,
yes. We're talking like 40,000 people in clinical research memes is one of them. And then there's other ones too. So people are out there. And then LinkedIn, LinkedIn is where you're supposed to be doing this kind of stuff. It's not even frowned upon. The purpose of LinkedIn is to network. It's not even frowned upon to be overly pitchy or salesy. Facebook, it might be. Twitter, it might be. You don't want to be overly pitchy anywhere because you want to stand out. You want your message. You want people to want to talk to you. Nobody wants to talk to a commercial. So here's how individuals can 10x their research opportunities. In addition to what we just said, what do you think about all this, Chris?
Yeah, of course, the more work you put in, the more results you can expect typically.
Yeah. And don't spam people.
Don't spam people. Yeah, it tends to aggravate them.
Have you ever been to a party, a real party, cocktail party, where people are talking and then somebody comes in, doesn't say anything, and just hands everyone a business card and says, call me if you need my help?
No.
Exactly, because it doesn't happen that often. And if it did, people would laugh. They'd probably take their card and then throw it away and laugh later, like, who is this guy? But if you go in there and just join the conversation,
sure,
people get to know you. Hey, who are you, Chris? You're funny. You said some cool stuff.
Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah, what do you do? Okay, so here, this is how we do it. I have a
need for that.
This is how we do it. So be involved in 10 times. One straightforward way of entering the research industry, 10 times faster. Okay, or getting an opportunity. Okay, is the power of Google, the power of the internet. Okay, you can Google research clinics in your area. I think the best place to get started in this industry is at the site level. By far. I'm biased, but you can ask other industry experts.
So site level as an owner or site level as
No,
an employee?
Just you want to break into the industry with zero experience, the site is your best bet.
So start as a coordinator or something along those lines.
Start as a research assistant. Start as taking out the trash.
Huh?
You're going to be involved in research if you hang around more researchers.
Sure.
Intern, okay? Or if you already are in the industry, but like let's say you're a CRA, you want side gigs, you want to develop a consulting business. By the way, you're going to make way more money doing that than monitoring. And it's not as difficult. I do all of this, guys. I talk about what I do. I monitor. It's hard work.
It's fun, right?
Sometimes it's fun, but it's hard work. They pay well for me.
Sure.
Maybe some people don't get. I've heard some CRAs work so hard and don't get paid.
Yeah, we've none of you.
So you need to 10x your opportunities. People want you. Okay? So go to your Google. Okay? Everyone has their own Google. And search research clinics.
Wait.
With your zip code.
Everybody has their own Google.
Yeah, it's like personalized for you. So go search, okay, your zip code clinical research site. Go in person if you have time. Talk to the coordinator. Talk to the site owner. If you're a CRA, they're going to love that you're there. Oh, you're a CRA in our neighborhood and you want to help us? Well, okay. Well, right now we don't need you, but hey, I will definitely love to network with you. Maybe you can help us get studies. There are so many opportunities. We've never had that happen. A CRA walk in here and say, "Hey, I'm a CRA in your neighborhood. I wanna develop a consulting company to help sites. Do you have any things that you need help with?" If they approached you, you would say, "Yeah, help us get studies."
Sure.
Right?
If
But
they have
maybe
the capability.
But maybe the site needs help in improving their clinical research processes. We had an email today that we got to respond to this person who wants us to help them with developing their processes, right? People want these kind of things.
Sure.
When you're a CRA and you have your blinders on, okay, you don't see anything beyond what you have to do to finish your work. But that is a really dumb way of looking at things because you can still do that and finish your work and do a good job. But if you open your eyes a little bit, you can see the opportunities that are there.
Now, just to take the edge off of what you just said, it's a dumb way to do things.
There's no edge.
Yeah, a little bit of edge. You've even said yourself it's difficult to do that once you're in the CRA.
It's very difficult. It's very difficult. Guess what's also difficult? Getting in shape, getting a six-pack.
Sure. Takes work.
Getting muscles, getting smarter. Things that are not physical, right? Like, let's go intellectual. Everything's hard that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. But you should do it. And just being aware of that fact is going to help you do it. It may not help you 10x just off of that, but being aware of it is going to show you, okay, I went to this site, they're having problems with this. I went to this other site, they're having the same problem.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just completing my monitoring report, why don't I explore if this is something that is a problem in the industry? And you can go to conferences. Sometimes your employer will pay for you to go to conferences.
Yep.
If you want to meet me and Chris, we're going to Bio this year, San Diego. All right. And Dr. Hazen said she does want to split the booth with us again.
Again?
Yeah.
But we have somebody else that might want to split the booth.
Well, maybe we'll split it 3 ways. Who cares? We're going to 10x it when we're there.
Yeah.
All right. So that's another thing we haven't even talked about is conferences. There's a conference literally every month. Okay. Try to get your employer to pay for it. If they don't want to, you're going to have to find a way to network. Okay. Maybe go to a conference on your own dime. I mean, you really want to improve your career? That's what's going to happen. But if you're working for a CRO for a long enough period of time, and you approach them about, hey, I wanted to join ACRP annual conference because I'm going to take these courses that they have and it's going to help me do my job better, I'm pretty sure if it's reasonable, they're going to say you can go. Matter of fact, some places even encourage you to go and the CRAs don't want to go.
Yep.
So you guys, if you want a 10x, you got to 10x the work too. That's the secret.
I don't know if it's a secret, but it certainly needs to be done.
It's the secret.
It's the secret sauce.
Patient recruitment. Talk about all the time. You want to 10x your opportunities in one fell swoop? Learn how to recruit patients. Okay, again, easier said than done, but everybody's going to want to talk to you.
Well, all sites will want to talk to you.
Not only that, sponsors will want to talk to you. How are you doing this?
It's hard to find the connections.
This is why you got to network.
Unless you're already in there.
This is why you got to network. And this is why if you're a recruiter and you're doing well for the sites, you network with the PI. Say, hey, who's the medical monitor?
Sure.
Okay, then they'll talk to you. You can reach out to them. Or you can find them on LinkedIn. Right? Those big wigs guys and gals are not on these Facebook groups. They're on LinkedIn. On the Facebook groups, you're going to get CRAs, CRCs, in-house CRAs, those kind of people, right? Sometimes PIs too. So, guys, we're living in such an era of opportunity. I've had somebody message me just the other day. Dan, I'm frustrated. I've applied to 2 places and I haven't got any responses. What am I doing wrong?
2 places?
Yes, this was literally her question.
Yeah.
What am I doing wrong? I'm freaking out.
I don't know. You need a little bigger data set.
Yeah, I said try 200. Okay, this is normal. You have no experience.
Right.
Like nobody's gonna. First of all, even if they are interested in you, what's to say they're gonna reply right away? So you got to increase your opportunities there and your touch points. Increase your touch points. This is the reason why I set up my Patreon channel, where I teach people basically for $5 a month, because I don't want to put more content on YouTube that's not clinical research. So I'm doing like a marketing thing on Patreon. $5 a month. I do like 2 videos a week. How to use social media, how to interact with people, what to do, create a blog, write articles, make videos, do a podcast, just do these webinars. You can do what we're doing, right? You need to build the platform, but you can do it. So whatever it takes to increase your touch points between you and other people in the industry is what you need to do. Okay. The sites are probably the easiest target because they're the easiest to reach and the most accessible. But the CROs, you can reach CRAs there. You can reach people that want to interact with you, but you have to have something of value for them in return. And if you have no research experience, you probably have something of value that somebody's going to want. Maybe you know how to make a website. Maybe you know how to make a podcast. And they don't.
Sure.
All right. And if you don't know how, go on YouTube or join my Patreon and learn. This is the things you got to do, okay? Individuals can also offer their skills to 10x as many sites. Skills that many sites would benefit from include higher education for skills or procedures. Some of these assessments need graduate level degrees. Okay, so you like Kobe is a rest in peace, Kobe Bryant. We're not talking about Kobe Bryant. Missed that guy already. We're talking about our coordinator, Kobe.
Right.
Okay. Kobe, he is a master's degree. He came to me after being persistent on Instagram. Send me his CV. I told him I don't need you right now, but thank you. Just reach out to me anytime you want. It took him about 6 months, 12 months of doing this. Finally, we had a study where we needed somebody with a master's degree. And I said, you know what? I talked to Monica. I said, this guy's been persistent. He's got a master's degree. He has no research experience, but he has experience with psychiatric patients. And he's got the master's degree, so he can get qualified for a lot of these skills.
Sure.
And guess what? He interned for 3 months, and then he got hired. Mm-hmm. And he's still with us, and now he's doing these assessments for numerous sites of ours. Okay, this is how you do it. He 10x'd it. He probably didn't even know what he was doing, but he 10x'd it. Okay, so this is what you got to do. Data, creating source documents. Do you know how time-consuming this is? Creating source documents?
Not a great step for somebody who has no experience in the industry, but yes, it can certainly be helpful if you know how to do it.
Or if you don't have experience in the industry, but you are listening to this or watching this, now you at least know this is a pain point.
Sure.
All right. Creating a source document is easy, just time consuming. Basically, you get the protocol, schedule of assessments, EDC screenshots if you can, and create the source documents for the sites. Sites need interns to do these kind of things a lot. Okay. Data entry. Another simple one, Chris.
Sure.
Time consuming. We're not talking about answering queries, just data entry. Just the basic things, but you can get more creative with it. Maybe you're good at podcast, like I said. Maybe you're good at reaching out to people on behalf of the site, like we do, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
For our month-to-month services, $12.99 a month, we reach out on behalf of our clients to get them studies.
Yep.
And in addition to what we're doing for them every month, they are also doing the same thing. So they're 10xing it.
Hopefully they're doing the same thing.
Hopefully, they at least need to follow up.
Yep.
Okay. Once you have some experience, whatever experience it is, you add it to your CV, guess what? Now you're in the industry. It's very hard to get out of the industry once you're in because everybody needs you. You're in high demand always. Hello. Send your questions, okay? We want to hear questions. We want to see smiley faces in any meeting, okay? And that's it, okay? Maybe some love would be good too. Okay, so push that if you're on there. What do you think, Chris?
About love?
Sure.
I mean, yeah, as we already stated, you have to work harder. Want more results, you have to work harder.
Okay, connection issues. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I'm looking at it myself. There's nothing. Thank you, guys. So remember, guys, this is like we're gonna do plenty of tactical things, but this is the new year, and this had to be motivational. And it's so many people reaching out on Instagram, LinkedIn, telling me how do I get in, okay? And then they only talk to me. Like I can't bring all you guys in. We have CRA Academy, CRC Academy. We can help. Those are gonna help 10x too. I know in the CRC Academy, Monica's 10x. She's doing the business development for the students. She's networking with sites.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's on LinkedIn. Go figure. She's on LinkedIn creating content.
Right.
Sites are asking her questions. Sites know that she has a CRC Academy, and now she's brokering our students to the people.
Good.
All right, but why can't you do this? Right? Or why can't you do both? So this is what you guys need to do. Okay, how do you 10x attracting new research opportunities as a central lab? Easy.
Well, yeah, that's easy.
Super easy. You go to a conference a month. Okay, not the booth thing. I think the booth thing is a waste of money. I think you go to a conference a month, you walk the floor, you talk to every single booth that's there. I don't care if they're your competitor. I don't care if they have nothing to do with you. Okay, you talk to them about what you do. You go listen to the panels. You maybe get on a panel. All right, that's what you do at these conferences once a month. On a daily basis, you're on LinkedIn. You should be on LinkedIn constantly creating in this order videos, audio, which could be the same thing. You're just stripping the audio from the video, and then articles, okay, about central labs. What are the pain points for what you do? How do you help clients solve their problems? You got to understand the pain points. If you're a central lab, you got to understand what the pain points are. Is it that sites are not sending you the shipments soon enough? How do you solve that? Is it that I don't know what the pain points are of a central lab. Those are just what I'm thinking. You got to create content around this. Okay? You should join my Patreon, patreon.com/dancefarah. I talk about 2 videos every week on exactly how to do this. You should write an ebook. All right, 7,000 words. It's like 20 pages. You give that away for free on LinkedIn. You put it on your email list to attract email subscribers. You talk about it on your podcast. You put it on Amazon Kindle for 99 cents. Amazon does not let you do it free, but the closest thing to free is 99 cents because Amazon's a discovery tool as well. This is what you do if you're a central lab. Right? You go to monthly conference or quarterly conference, whatever your budget and your time can accommodate. And then every day you create video, audio, and then written articles. And once in a while, maybe once a quarter, twice a year, an ebook, 7,000 words.
So I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Yes, please.
You think CROs and sponsors will see this material?
Yes. So CROs and sponsors that need a central lab will seek this material. CROs and sponsors that own their own central lab, they might see it because they're in that world. but they're not going to reach out to you. But you don't care about those. You care about the 1 out of 10 that maybe are seeking a central lab because they're Googling this stuff. They're on iTunes. When they drive home, just like you and me, they listen to podcasts. When they're at home, they might watch YouTube, something entertaining, but the Google algorithm is so strong, it knows who they are, and it's going to show them, hey, look what's in your feed now. Somebody talking about central lab. This is how it happens, guys. Could you please talk about networking with physicians? So hopefully that helps you. But I think my Patreon's going to help you. You need to join this, okay? I don't want to put these things on YouTube because it dilutes my message of clinical research. But I want to talk. I'm equally passionate about marketing. Could you please talk about networking with physicians to partner with? Chris, you want to roll with this one?
I didn't hear the question.
Could you please talk about networking with physicians to partner with? Any tips and tricks? How to engage them to launch a research site at their clinic? I mean, you want to talk about a side gig for CRA? This is the ultimate side gig. You help 10 PIs set up 10 different clinics. Sure. You own 5%, 10% of each. You're golden. You don't need to do monitoring anymore. Only if you want to.
I don't know.
Where are you
that.
laughing?
I don't know about that, but
where are you laughing, Chris? There's no laughing matter.
You're very optimistic.
This is an optimistic year, man.
Sure.
If it was a pessimistic year, I would tell you. So, I would tell you guys, if this year was like 2008, where it was a recession, I would say, guys, maybe do a podcast, a video, but like I wouldn't expect too much. But this year, you do all these things, you're going to get so many rewards. It's unbelievable how much opportunities here that people are ignoring. Sure. Unreal. Even we are not doing enough.
So the person asking the question, what in what capacity are you in the industry? Are you a owner?
Right. But let's say she dropped off the map and will never talk to us again. So just going off of this, okay? Could you please talk about networking with physicians to partner with? Any tips and tricks?
Well,
how to engage them to launch a research site at their clinic?
You first have to have a conversation with physicians, right?
That's right.
So you got to go out and drum up some physicians to have a conversation with. You go door to door. You can run some advertising. You can get on LinkedIn, whatever it might be for you.
LinkedIn is the way. You can search right now on LinkedIn. Not now, because you need to listen to us. And then you need to go to patreon.com/dancefair. But after that, you need to go on LinkedIn and type whatever physician you're looking for. Let's say it's psychiatrist. Psychiatrist in what's the city you're going to? Longview, Texas. Okay.
Thanks for telling everybody where I'm going tomorrow.
Well, you didn't have to say tomorrow. Who knows when you're going? Longview, Texas. If you want to meet Chris Auber, go to Longview, Texas tomorrow. Yeah. Type that in LinkedIn. You're going to get results. You reach out to them. Hey, this is what I do. I am a CRA or I'm a coordinator. Have you ever considered clinical research? Because, I mean, I know a lot of physicians I talk to, they think research is just for academics. But in reality, 70% of studies are industry sponsored. And they work with people just like you at your clinics. You don't have to do anything differently to participate in clinical research. And I can help you set up the processes, whatever it is that you're going to do to be successful, because I've done this for this amount of years.
Sure.
Or whatever your pitch is. I have no clue what your pitch is. Mm-hmm. That would be my pitch. All right. And I would do that over and over and over and over again. 10x. All right. Until you find one. Then you do it. Then you repeat.
Yep.
All right. That's what I recommend. And then creating content for physicians. So if you are a LinkedIn video, I don't know how much longer they're going to do this, but LinkedIn video so heavily favors videos in the newsfeed. It wasn't always like this. LinkedIn, just like Facebook 5 years ago, if you upload organically to LinkedIn, meaning not posting a link from YouTube, but just uploading a raw video to LinkedIn, they're going to show that to so many people.
Well,
disproportionate amount, because they're seeing that people are liking videos on LinkedIn. So if you create content for physicians, all right, just every day a video, and then since you're doing the video, you should rip the audio and create a podcast too. This is why the Patreon is. There's so much technical stuff behind these things, but you can learn it all for free, or I can spoon feed it to you. All right. You create the videos, then you post the audios on all Google Play, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify. You know we're on Spotify now?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I don't even use Spotify, but we're on it.
And how'd that happen?
Because it's popular, man.
Okay.
I don't need to use it to be on it because I see enough people are using it. It's like the third biggest, maybe second biggest podcasting platform after iTunes. So I use iTunes, but I put on Spotify too. Once I pay attention to what's going on, I see, okay, people's ears are there too. I don't care where they're from.
Sure.
Right? So that's what you do. You create content and you go out and seek. So you want to do outbound marketing, which is all this reaching out, all the reaching out, all the marketing that we've been talking about, the 10x. And then you create content and you bring the inbound leads. Okay? Just like you guys are listening to this podcast or this webinar. All right? This is an inbound. I put an email blast and then people who are interested join and they see this.
Sure.
The same thing you need to do. Okay? What is the average asking price for consulting fees for CRAs? It really depends on what you're doing. If you're going to be a CRA, if you are already like a contract CRA and you're charging a sponsor like $2,000 for a monitoring visit, a site is not going to be able to pay you that same amount. Okay, so you're going to have to most likely lower your fees for a site. I would say 50 an hour is good. If you're just starting out, give the site a break. Like you're not a professional yet. You have to have customers to be a professional consultant. If you're a CRA and you're venturing out to try new things with sites, you need to cut them a break. Once you start building up their track record, you can start charging more. And guess what? It's easier work than what you're probably doing currently as a CRA. Thank you for the comments. I want to see. Let's see what we want to see. Thumbs up and loves and claps. Okay. Let's see more. I know a lot of you guys are on phone.
Those are grayed out. You can't even click them.
You have no clue what we're saying on the phone, but there we go. We got some people. Okay, thank you.
Because nobody clicked them. I see.
Yeah, nobody clicked. Well, they click and then goes away. Okay. Because any meeting wants to reward our dopamine. This caffeine's not doing enough, so any meeting wants to stimulate.
I think it is.
Yeah? We need more. I'm 10xing.
Okay, good.
We actually have to do a podcast
I'll have a heart attack now.
We got to do a podcast later, and we got to do... So we're 10xing every day.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but sure.
Well, it's impossible to 10x every day because...
you would eventually run out of time.
Yes, you're going to hit infinity at some point. But, again, like we said at the beginning, this is not about actually 10x. It's about increasing your opportunities.
Sure.
You make that number whatever it is. By the way, if you're happy with what you did last year, just keep doing the same. You don't need to be on this anymore.
Right.
You could have been off this a long time ago.
Yep.
Okay? It's not. And sometimes it's okay. You know, maybe you want to spend more time with family. Whatever it is. But most of you guys reaching out to me want to increase your opportunities.
Yep.
But you're not wanting to do what it takes. Which is a lot.
That's a problem.
That is a problem.
And I guess this is the answer.
Well, here, you read this.
Why? Where are you going?
Nowhere, but I just need to take a break. I'm losing my voice.
10x your site's opportunities. Every site on clinicaltrials.gov to find new studies. You should send out 10 times the amount of requests. So that's right. Absolutely.
If you're not getting study directors angry at you, you're not doing enough.
Like you do on the Constant?
We had one today reach out to me. Dan, please stop reaching out. I don't know anything about this study. Someone from a big pharma. You know what? Like, that's a good sign. That's a good sign.
And I absolutely agree with that bullet point. Certainly, if you're a study site, you need more studies, reach out to more people. More people obviously can help you in that path. Let's see, need help? Find externs from nearby schools, medical assistants, and phlebotomists. So yeah,
So I always need that.
Yeah, and these externs will work. What is it? Usually 2 weeks.
Usually it's like 6 weeks actually.
6 weeks.
Yeah, for free.
For free. Yeah.
Recorded session going up tomorrow on YouTube. Today it will be on the podcast, Random Musings from the Clinical Trials Guru. Tomorrow will be on YouTube. But everyone who registered for this will receive the replay in their inbox right now, as soon as we're done. So you can watch it here on any meeting. It's just a separate link. I wanted to add something to this top bullet point. So if you are someone that's trying to get in to the industry, or maybe you're a CRA that wants to get in with sites like on the side, right? You know now this top bullet point is a huge pain point for sites. Huge.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I don't have time to do this, but somebody at your site should be going on clinicaltrials.gov every day and finding new studies, emailing 10, 20, 30 people a day, 100 people a day, whatever the case may be, about studies. You will be productive at some point.
Eventually.
So if you're trying to break into the industry, or if you're a CRA trying to build a consulting business on the side, again, you got to read your employment contract. I'm not an attorney. Ask your attorney if it's okay for you to do this. I wouldn't ask your supervisors because they're going to tell you no. You want to ask an attorney. What does my contract prevent me from doing this? All right. You now know one of the biggest pain points of sites besides patient recruitment, which is, by the way, patient recruitment's hard. So, like, the hardest. So I'm not recommending you start with that unless you like to do that. But
good end, though.
It's a very good end. But BizDev, approaching sponsors for studies. You don't need any experience in research to do this, right? You just need to come up with you need to watch the videos we have, listen to the podcast, read our book, The Comprehensive Guide to Clinical Research. It's going to talk to you about what sponsors want from sites. So you'll know how to put together a pitch when you're on clinicaltrials.gov, emailing on behalf of sites. Hey, RPI, this is what we have. These are our site capabilities. These are the things you need to know. You don't need to actually know. You don't need to be well-versed in research to be good at BizDev. Matter of fact, you just need to know bare minimum stuff, which you can find in our book, The Comprehensive Guide to Clinical Research, which, Chris, I know we made it now. We had our first 1-star review. We officially
that's
made
when you make it?
Yes.
When you get a negative review.
That's right. Yeah, no,
Okay.
not negative. 1 star.
Well, yeah, it's in the realm of negativity.
A blatant hater.
Yeah.
Yes, that's how you know you make it. And by the way, that's funny. We don't care. That is funny.
That was to the audiobook, right?
Yeah, that was for the audiobook.
Which is even more surprising.
It's even more surprising, but that's a funny story. But it's actually good it's a good lesson, because you guys, if you go out on a limb and 10x, not everyone's gonna be happy with you doing this. Like today, I got a big pharma telling me stop emailing.
Yep.
Right? Not everyone's gonna be happy, but you need to do it because this is how you 10x. Like, you're gonna ruffle some feathers. If you create videos, you're gonna get people disagreeing with what you're saying. Okay? Who cares? As long as it's what you really believe, you should be putting it out there.
Yeah, don't be like those of Korea and Vietnam where they do nothing. That's not going to offer you any results either.
Yeah, sitting back and just like hoping, it's not going to do much. Okay, this year it actually might. You might actually get, if you're in the industry, you're going to get opportunities. But if you want to truly increase your opportunities,
a lot less so. But
yes.
Possibly, I suppose that's true.
Having externs is a good way to get help at your site and find potential employees. So if you are at the site level and you want to 10x and you want to leverage your time, and let's say you don't want to pay DSCS $12.99 a month to do it for you, which I think is a huge ROI, you're going to 10x your money every month doing this. Every year, you'll 10x. You just need one study to 10x your yearly fee to us.
Sure.
Right. So get externs, right? What we just talked about from medical assistant schools. Okay. In addition to drawing blood and doing vitals and entering data, you can have them go on clinicaltrials.gov and write email pitches to sponsors. You can help them. You can hire a marketing intern to create a podcast for you. You can hire someone to do a YouTube for you, right? Like if you don't know the technical skills, you can get interns to help you. Or you can just learn how to do it yourself. It's really not that hard. I'm horrible with technology. And I do most of this stuff on my own.
No, I wouldn't say you're horrible. You're not a Luddite.
Okay, I'm not a Luddite, but I'm not a technologist.
Sure.
All right. So you can then identify which of these externs have good phone skills, which ones are good for patient interaction, and this is what you do as a business owner. You find the right people, create systems to truly leverage your 10x your business opportunities.
Yeah.
All right. So final slide. Be aware that the schools providing externs may require that you hire a certain percentage of externs. They can't force you to, but at some point they're going to say, hey,
you know, sit you 100. How come you haven't hired one?
Right. So, but you will want to hire the good ones, and you'll know the good ones. It's like when you eat a good meal. Okay, you may not be able to describe it, but you know, okay, what I just had was really good compared to the usual.
Yep.
So I'm gonna come back here, right? Sure. Well, that's this version of that. It's finding the right extern for a certain need.
Absolutely.
Right. Some externs won't be interested in research at all. They won't even know what it is. Okay. But here's what you do. If they show some interest, you give them our book. All right. And you say, read this. This is gonna teach you like 80% of what you need to know. And then you'll know where to dig deeper.
I don't know about 80%, but it'll certainly give them a good start.
Beyond a good start, okay? If you still need help, if you still need help at your site and the externs are not enough, post 10 times more job openings, okay? Or create content. If you want to attract coordinators, create content for coordinators. Hey, this is the Breakthrough Clinical Trials weekly video show. We talk about how we appreciate coordinators. This is what we do at Breakthrough. This is what coordinators can do to improve their work day. This is what coordinators can do to get more opportunities for themselves. Help them. They will find you because they're looking for that. And then that's how you 10x. So, guys, it's not a complicated. It's simple, right? Any other questions? We are about to leave.
Where are we going?
We have to do a podcast. Any more questions? If no more, Chris, give them our spiel for the monthly services.
I think you gave it plenty.
Yeah, but a formal one. A formal one.
Sure, $12.99 a month. It's month to month. You can cancel at any time. For that, you'll receive business development. We'll reach out on behalf of your site to bring studies to your site. We'll negotiate your budgets and contracts. We will provide you with SOPs. We are readily available to answer any questions that you may have. And all of these services are a la carte, so you can choose to use them all or none. Not using any, I don't know why you're paying $12.99 a month, but
the fee is flat. The fee is flat. We'll never charge you for anything else. And most importantly, which is going to be our next podcast, you're going to be part of our site network.
Yep.
And we're going to leverage. We're going to 10x what you're already 10xing, or at least hopefully. So you're going to like 100x. And then we're just getting into crazy math here. Okay. You like this?
Yeah.
I can't even keep up with this math anymore. Another thing, we have our CRA Academy next session starting February 15th. All right. We offer oncology experience now.
When you intern in California, you can in person, right? Or you can do it online if you're not in California.
Highly recommend to come to California for a week after the class is over, but it's a 3-month course online. We make it to where you can continue to work and still complete the course and get a solid grasp of what it takes to be a monitor and what you need to know to be a monitor. And then if you pass, you get to do the internship, which ideally you come to California for a week and then you go back to wherever you're from. Hopefully we have a site that you can intern at, or you can, because you can do both, remote monitor the oncology study that you would have had experience with when you come to California. Okay. We also have a CRC Academy starting March 1st with Monica. She's literally brokering. She's a great business person. She's brokering jobs for the current students in CRC Academy.
Good.
Unbelievable what she's doing. Okay, we have our book that we talked about, The Comprehensive Guide to Clinical Research. I have my Patreon channel, patreon.com/DanSfera, $5 a month. Going to talk about marketing and digital media and business and entrepreneurship, basically everything non-clinical research that you can find an angle to leverage it and 10x your clinical research activities. What else? I think that's about all we have to sell. Our podcast, Random Musings from the Clinical Trials Guru.
That's a good thing to listen
to.
It's
pretty
not
much
selling anything, but
yeah, we're done selling, guys. But now you need to start selling.
Yep.
All right. So you need to go out there and 10x right now. Just go do it. And Happy New Year. I guess we can. This could be the last time I officially say Happy New Year in this year. It's
till next year, right?
It's gonna be February. And everybody have a great day. And the replay will be sent to you. And let me know. Here's a personal challenge for anyone who stayed till the end. Okay. I will send one book to somebody.
You're doing this again.
Only one. To the first person that sends me proof that they 10x'd. So I'm assuming you start from 0 or 1. That you reached out to 10 people today on any platform, email, text, LinkedIn, Facebook. I need the proof. I'm not going to trust you. This is like cryptocurrency. Verify, don't trust. Okay, I need to verify that you're doing this. And the first person that does it today gets a book autographed by Chris Hopper and Dan Sfera.
Very nice.
Okay. So let's do it. You got to email it to me. Okay. Today. Nobody does it today. That's it. Nobody gets the book. I'll read your book. I'll give it to someone. All right. Thank you guys. Take care. Good luck. Bye-bye.